Aging isn't just about wear and tear, it's about trade-offs. Deep within our cells, ancient molecular systems make constant decisions about whether to grow, repair, reproduce, or conserve energy. And central to those decisions are nutrient-sensing pathways like TOR, target of rapamycin, and AMPK, AMP-activated protein kinase. These two systems are so fundamental that they've been preserved across billions of years of evolution from yeast to humans, and they now stand at the center of modern aging research. But to understand why they matter, we have to go back to the beginning: evolution. At its core, evolution favors traits that increase reproductive success, not necessarily longevity. In early life forms, survival meant being able to adapt quickly to fluctuating environments: feast one moment, famine the next, warm today, cold tomorrow. Cells needed a way to sense the availability of energy and nutrients and respond accordingly. And that's exactly what systems like TOR and AMPK evolved to do. TOR is the growth promoter. When nutrients are abundant, especially amino acids and insulin, TOR becomes active, pushing cells to build proteins, divide, and grow. This is useful when food is plentiful and reproduction is the priority. It's the pathway of go big or go home, and evolution loves it in the short term. More growth means faster development, more offspring, and a better chance of passing on your genes. But here's the catch: growth is metabolically expensive and generates a lot of cellular damage. TOR doesn't worry about the long-term consequences. It's optimized for success now, not survival later. On the flip side is AMPK, the survivalist. It switches on when the cell senses low energy, high AMP, and low ADP levels. AMPK tells the body, we're in a low-resource environment. Stop building, start conserving. It triggers autophagy, the cellular cleanup system, enhances mitochondrial efficiency, and suppresses unnecessary energy expenditure. Evolutionarily, this is critical during periods of stress, famine, or environmental hardship. Organisms that could shift into a low-energy, repair-focused state had a better chance of surviving until conditions improved. This dynamic, TOR saying grow and AMPK saying survive, is the essence of the growth versus maintenance trade-off, a foundational concept in both evolutionary biology and aging. In short term, prioritizing TOR and growth increases reproductive fitness. But in the long term, chronic TOR activation can accelerate aging by promoting cellular damage, inflammation, and diseases like cancer. AMPK, while less sexy from a reproductive standpoint, favors longevity and stress resistance. What's fascinating is how these ancient systems continue to shape our lives in the modern world. Our ancestors lived with constant nutrient fluctuations, fasting during scarcity, feasting when lucky. Their bodies adapted by cycling between TOR and AMPK activation. Today, we live in a world of constant food availability, sedentary habits, and little biological pressure to conserve energy. As a result, TOR stays switched on too much, AMPK gets neglected, and aging accelerates. That's why interventions like caloric restriction, intermittent fasting, exercise, and certain plant compounds like caffeine, resveratrol, or curcumin are so promising in longevity research. They reactivate the AMPK pathway, restore the evolutionary balance, and simulate the kind of metabolic stress that our bodies evolved to expect. Even more compelling is how these pathways aren't just about lifespan, they're about health span. When AMPK is active and TOR is kept in check, cells don't just live longer, they function better. They clean up damaged proteins, maintain mitochondrial integrity, and resist the kind of molecular chaos that leads to neurodegeneration, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. In other words, nutrient sensing is a blueprint for resilience. From an evolutionary lens, this makes perfect sense. Organisms that could toggle between growth and survival, not just react passively to the environment, but make smart metabolic choices, had a better chance of enduring unpredictable conditions. What began as an energy budgeting system has now become the framework for understanding aging itself. So when we talk about aging, we're not just talking about the end of life. We're talking about the outcome of ancient trade-offs wired into our DNA. The TOR-AMPK balance wasn't designed to make us live forever. It was designed to get us through famine, help us reproduce, and keep the species going. But now, with science peeling back the layers of these ancient systems, we have a shot at rewriting the script. extending health span, slowing degeneration, and using evolutionary wisdom to outsmart our own biological clock.